Thank you.
Thank you. Another question for the supervisors has to do with a railroad putting in a second track through western Pinal County, and speak, if you would, about the advantages, disadvantages of that. Let's go in reverse order, Mr. Snyder.
Thank you. As many of you know, for a period of about 8 months, I worked in a regional partnership with the cities of Eloy, Maricopa, Casa Grande, and Pinal County, and the Union Pacific Railroad. They are adding a second active main line, and that will bring jobs to Pinal County and Arizona. We currently have about $3 billion worth of pass-through trade and commerce that comes through Pinal County. Because of our work with them in looking at separations to get traffic safely over those railroads, we will enhance in the coming years our ability to do business, to transship, and to take advantage of that pass-through trade. We also, because of our work with the railroad, have made progress on the classification yard. It has already spun off a number of industries in the Eloy area and will spin off industries in the Maricopa and Casa Grande areas. It is a historic agreement. They have agreed to provide services to industrial prospects that come to western Pinal County as a part of that negotiations. Thank you.
Mr. Dugan?
You know, there's been an agreement, I guess, with all the cities in the county about a $35 million agreement they have made with the to put the second rail spur in. And I guess they're going to be a total of $35 million. They think that was a great deal, but it cost $30 million to build one overpass. And there's between all the way from Maricopa, Casa Grande, Eloy, and so forth, there's probably going to be at least 30 overpasses. The $35 million won't even pay for one overpass. So I don't think that was such a hot agreement. I think we should go back and renegotiate and do something. It wasn't a good deal. I think personally it should be reevaluated.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you. The second railroad track is going to be a boom for our industry. The switching yard in Picacho will bring, Mr. Snyder, you alluded to, more industry into the area. It's going to also bring some complications with traffic congestion. Agreements have been drawn up. They haven't made totally to the public, but for the most part, I believe that the agreement is probably in place and can be negotiated later on by the new sitting board. Industry is important to Pinal County. The second railroad will allow new spurs to be created and new commercial and industrial sites to be developed. I think it's very good for Pinal County. It will improve our tax base and help lower our property taxes, which are right now the highest in the state. And so I am a proponent of the second track.
Okay, great. One more question for the supervisors, then we'll move on. What do you see as the defining issue the Board of Supervisors now faces that sets you apart as a candidate? Why don't we start with Mr. Dugan?
That sets me away. The biggest thing that I'm going to work on as a supervisor is to clean up the corruption and the mismanagement that's going on. Right now, I actually believe that the management is running the county, not the supervisors, and that's why we got the mismanagement that we have. These present supervisors have been full power to the staff, and I can tell you that real fast because you can go look at all their votes. The last 4 years, 99% of all their votes are 3-0. If you had a true, transparent government, you would not have 99% of your votes being 3-0. What's telling you is a lot of deals are being made behind the scenes by the staff and not in an open form, which it needs to be. And one last thing I'd like to say. I've been accused of saying that the county employees are all corrupt and everything. I never said that. The employees of Pinal County, 99% of them are the hardest working employees that we have.
Time.
And thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Snyder?
Thank you. I've worked hard to build regional and collaborative partnerships, not only with local governments, cities and towns, our tribal nations and communities, but also the counties that abut us, surround us, as well as the state and federal level. I am active in the Canamex corridor issues. I'm active at the national level in the National Association of Counties on their Energy, Environment, and Land Use Steering Committee. I'm now the Vice Chairman of the Energy Committee. I have worked very hard to begin the transformation of Pinal County so that it is no longer business as usual. We are a regional leader. We are not the only answer. We have to build partnerships. The issues that confront us of economic development, healthcare, transportation, air quality, public safety, all impact all of our neighbors, and if we don't work together on that, then we're going to be in trouble. And that's what I have done in the past 3.5 years, and that's what I'm committed to doing during the next 4 years. Thank you.
Tom?
Thank you. I think one of the major issues facing us today in Pinal County is taxes. We're one of the highest tax counties in the state of Arizona. Perhaps Supervisor Snyder should have worked a little bit more on that instead of trying to put everybody together to make a future. In 2002, our population was around 180,000. Today's population is somewhere in the neighborhood of 300,000. And yet, our taxes and our budget have not grown proportionately. They have exceeded the proportionate distance between the two. We need to look at lowering taxes, looking at our government, and making sure that you people in Pinal County are well represented, and that you in Western Pinal County are represented, and that taxes are not way out of line. People can't even afford to buy a house right now. That's why the foreclosure rate's as high as it is, because of the taxes. You are going to get a tax bill in the next 2 months that will knock your socks off. I will guarantee you that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We have about 5 minutes left, and we're going to still take questions from the audience after the TV portion of this thing is over. Is that correct, Scott? But we've done the supervisor question, so if you guys can peel off and let the others sit down. We'll run this like a wedding